when she was like, oh, it's the reason that you're so possessive and you're so defensive and you're out to get everyone because it's your job. It's like light bulb switch. That's an amazing idea. So we kind of went from there. We then knew we had to get some gorgeous, sexy heartthrob to be the person I had to defend. And then we thought, look no further. Let's ask Benito if he's keen.
What's up, friends? It's your girl, Emily Curl, back here in our iHeartRadio studio in New York City. And today we're hanging out with singer, songwriter, and my personal friend, Maisie Peters is here. Can we show some love for Maisie in our studio?
Cameras. Thank you so much.
You are kicking off our 2026. We are so happy to have you here.
Honor.
I always love to see you. We just went down through memory lane. The last time I saw you was 4 or 5 years ago.
Which I could not believe. I must have blocked out a lot of time since, because I really thought that it was 2 years ago maybe.
That's
We
what
both
we're
said to each
saying.
other, but
yes.
no, it was my first album. You were probably one of my first big interviews in New York. You were saying it was one of your first interviews in that venue?
In that venue. We were at 92Y, which is like a very prestigious venue here in New York. And they were so excited about you. I was so honored they asked me to do the interview. And we ended up chatting for like an hour and a half on stage.
Did we?
To a live audience.
Feels right. Feels appropriate,
We passed the mic around, and I just remember being just like so enamored by you because you were so, not only so fun, but loved your art, but like the connection with the fans.
Yes, that's so sweet and true. Yeah, that's definitely still there. I actually really remember I had a strong bleach, a red lip, and I was taking no prisoners. It was a wonderful day. But yeah, the fans were so sweet, and a few people came, I remember, and filled it out, and yeah, it was very cool.
And I can't believe that's your first album.
Yeah,
I love that.
The very beginning of the You Sign Up for This North American tour.
That is insane to think about.
I know.
And then you played a show, you said, right afterwards.
Well, yeah, we got on the bus, we went to the next city, but we played Webster Hall that
Webster
trip,
Hall.
which was also so special. And I did an outfit change. I did my first ever onstage outfit change. I changed into the cheerleader outfit from my music video, John Hughes movie, for anyone who remembers that. So yeah, and there was a disco ball, and it was such a special show, and I love Webster Hall. So I always walk past it when I'm in the city, and I
brings you back.
Yeah, it does.
Here's the other thing I love about you too, Maisie. Anyone who knows you and is a fan of you knows how much you love a good film reference. Like
I do.
John Hughes, that one still is one of my favorites.
Thank you.
Love that song. And then we have some new music that we have to discuss. The third studio album, but your new single, My Regards, your brand new single off your new album.
Bit cheering myself.
I love the track. Let's start with that, and then we're gonna get into the music video.
Sure thing.
It's so fun because it's just your cheeky style. Like it's Maisie in Love. Like we get this other new side of you. Tell me about My Regards and why you wanted to kick off this project with this song.
For sure. So I think when everybody eventually listens to the whole album, they'll hear that the album is sort of overwhelmingly a more introspective, fragile, more a sort of folkier version of my music and myself, which I love, and I was really leaning into those themes in that world of songwriting. But I knew that even with that, my shows are so important to me, and my fans are so important to me, and I knew that with an album like that, I still needed to have songs on the record that could be full of joy and people could smile when they sang them. It was like something that was in my mind throughout the whole process of after being on tour for so long as well, the last few years, is the communal joyous experience, and having a show without songs where people can just smile. It sounds silly, but you need to be able to smile and dance and sing with your friends and have that moment together. It's important to me. So when I was track listing this album, I knew there had to be a few standout moments for that, as well as the more introspective, vulnerable, fragile stuff, which I also love. And so My Regards is exactly that. It's also, a strong part of my personality. I am a pretty unserious in many ways sort of person. I'm silly. I like to laugh. I like to laugh at myself. And this song is really an extension of that. It's the subversion of a classic love song, but it's fun and it's lighthearted and it's like a little bit sexy and a little bit sort of silly, and it just felt like a song to smile at, and
It did feel all-encompassing of your personality.
Thank you.
And do you feel like this album, you're going to take us on a journey, like this is going to give us another peek into like how you've evolved, who you are now? Like walk me through what that looks like.
For sure. So I guess My Regards is like one piece of that puzzle, because I've never released an album before about being in a happy adult relationship. And so My Regards is definitely a huge part of that puzzle and of this album. And the album sort of is loosely a journey into love, is sort of what I tell people. It's like a journey into love for yourself and for your life and for somebody else as well, and how that sort of grounds you and roots you. And there's obviously lots of strands to that. And actually, I think before it was released and coming out, fans thought it was going to be like my love album. They were like, it's
Okay,
a
yeah,
golden hour, it's her lover,
Right.
which love those albums. But actually, to me, I found myself thinking more and more about the past and about sort of the route to get here. So if anything, the album sort of backdates itself. It's sort of, the journey to where I am now. And there's still a lot of songs about the past and about, previous relationships and how your perspective on those can change with age and with time. And I found that an interesting thing to look at.
And then I have to ask you, because I haven't heard the full album yet. We were so excited for it. But you end the track, Nothing Like Being in Love.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to ask you, the last track, I feel like is like the full completion of this story. What can you tell us about that song in particular?
Wow, you're the first person to ask me this. I will tell you, this is actually, funnily enough, one of the first songs I wrote for the album. I didn't know it at the time that it would be the last song on the album, which is interesting. It was on my first writing trip to Nashville, which is where I wrote and recorded this album, a lot of it. This was maybe the fourth song I wrote on that trip. And actually the first song that I wrote on that trip is the song that comes before it.
Oh, really?
So,
okay,
yeah,
so
the penultimate and the
okay.
last song on the album were both some of the earliest stuff I made. And I think Nothing Like Being in Love definitely feels like the final page of the thesis of the album, I think. Which is funny, again, because it came first. But yeah, it feels sort of like the completed thought to the album and its themes, its messaging. And it's a hopeful song and kind of a bittersweet song as well, I would say.
Really? Okay.
It's a cool way to end.
And like you said, you made this in Nashville. You worked with Ian Fitchuk,
Mm-hmm.
who is the Grammy producer. He's worked with Beyonce, Casey Musgraves.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have worked together before. This isn't your first time, back in 2020.
Yes. So for anyone who remembers, I have a song called Daydreams,
Yep.
which I wrote with Ian and Daniel Tashian as well, who's another amazing Nashville writer and producer. And yeah, that was my first trip to Nashville, maybe. We wrote that song together and a bunch of other songs and started that relationship. And I loved those guys. They're such talented musicians. I mean, everyone is in Nashville, but they're just so amazing. And we had a lot of fun. And I actually love that song. And then funnily enough, there's a small little group of my fans and they call themselves the Daydreamers after that song.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
cute.
it is like a fun, continuous line from then to now.
Did you guys know you were going to work together again? Like, how did those conversations start?
No, when I went to Nashville, that first trip where I wrote some of these songs, Ian and I did actually write together. We wrote one song called Busy Kissing, which did not make the album, but it's kind of a smash, so I might look at it again for the deluxe. So
Please,
I'm gonna say.
we need that.
Yeah, it needs some work, but we wrote this
Kissing,
one
it's so
song
cute.
called Busy Kissing and had a great time. But then I sort of went on and wrote more for the album and I like to work with lots of different people. I love collaborating. So I kind of spent a year doing that. And then when it came time to record the album, I knew that I wanted to this time record it with one producer. I'd never done that before.
Oh.
And I wanted to be able to give the album a real cohesive sonic. So I was looking for one person that could come in and tie everything together. And the universe just sort of conspired. And Ian happened to be free when I reached out. And he was like, well, this is funny. I'm actually free right now. And I would love to do this. I love this. And he loved the music. And so it was kind of a natural fit. We met, we were friends, we'd worked.
Yeah.
Then getting to go to Nashville, and I was with him and an amazing engineer called Conrad Snyder. And it was the three of us for 3 weeks. And we recorded all the music. We had sort of lots of the songs were on their way. We didn't start much from scratch, which I actually love.
Okay, so you had some ideas. You knew what you wanted it to sound like and feel like.
I feel like I'm a writer where it's very Nashville to write the song and then record it from scratch. There's 2 separate processes. But to me, the writing, the recording that you do of the demo on the day, I always think there's something there that is important. The bones of that are important. The first ideas you have, the first guitar you lay down, the first backing vocals you do, more often than not, there is something to that. So I loved that with Ian, he wasn't of the opinion, no, let's start again from scratch. I loved that, his ego was so uninvolved in that. He was like, no, what's best for this music? And so lots of those songs, sort of, the bones of them were made in London or Suffolk. And then they came to Nashville and then they just became these like fully embodied creations, which was so cool.
I love when Lady Gaga did her acceptance speech and she was like, listen, when you're in the room, you should trust your instincts. Like as a producer, for you too, like working with one producer, you're trusting your instincts. This is how you want your music to sound. Like how did that process work? And how do you keep the integrity of the idea that you have when you're in these recording rooms?
It's honestly, it's about working with people that you're really aligned with on a vision, which we both were. It was actually, touch wood, incredibly easy those whole 3 weeks were incredibly easy. We worked so fast. It felt like maybe we were just really, I think, just really aligned in taste and vision. And the songs sort of told us themselves what they needed to be. We weren't sort of running around, throwing paint at the wall, thinking, will this work, will this work, will this work? They kind of were very obvious to me, and I guess to Ian as well, in what they should sound like and how they should live, which is cool and not always the case. And that doesn't, that neither approach is necessarily better, but yeah, they all just really slotted into place. And also Ian is a wonderful collaborator, as is Conrad. They were both really attentive and eager to hear my ideas. And I was also really trusting of them putting their ideas onto it as well.
Speaking of other collaborators, you and Amelia de Moldenberg.
Yes!
I love this duo. Why do I feel like you guys have the exact same sense of humor? Like, I can just imagine you guys giggling on set all day.
Yeah, it was definitely Giggle City on set, definitely.
She directed the My Regards music video, which we need to talk about. And then she also did your visualizer for the album.
Yes.
We're going to talk about both of those things. Let's start with the music video. Benny Drama starring in it.
Tell me
how a lyric in the song created this idea for how you wanted to do this music video.
Yeah, it's so crazy how these things happen. So I was talking to Amelia about directing the music video. We'd already sort of set about directing the trailer. And she actually came to me and she said, I've heard the song, and there's a lyric, call me Kevin Costner, the way I'm guarding his body. And she said, it really sparked a thought to me, which was, what if the music video is you being somebody's bodyguard? I wanted the power to still really reside with me. I didn't want to feel like what we were emitting was this very, stereotypical possessive girlfriend. I was like, that's not actually what the song is about, and that's not something that I want to visualize the song with. So I loved her when she was like, oh, it's the reason that you're so possessive and you're so defensive and you're out to get everyone is because it's your job. It's like light bulb switch. That's an amazing idea. So we kind of went from there. We then knew we had to get some gorgeous, sexy heartthrob to be the person I had to defend. And then we thought, look no further. Let's ask Benito if he's keen, because I'd recently seen him both.
Okay, I was going to ask, how did you guys get connected?
So I'm a fan of overcompensating, of course.
Of course,
and
it's so good.
Of course, pisses me off. And then they had done, so Mary Beth and Benito had presented at the GQ Awards that year, which I'd gone to, GQ Man of the Year. And they'd done this really hilarious speech at the GQ Man of the Year, and I just found them so funny, and I'm obsessed with them. I love Ride and all of that. So I just reached out, really, and just, you don't ask, you don't get, shoot your shot. So I did shoot my shot with Benito Skinner. I just asked if he would be up for it, and he got back to me and was like, yeah, I would love to.
Immediately down. Oh,
yeah,
that's
I'm a fan.
amazing.
And he knew Amelia, I think, so it was a really natural, organic collaboration.
How do we get you an Overcompensating season 2? We need that to happen.
Listen, I would love to. I can, they had obviously Charlie XCX in the first season. I offer something very different, that is for sure. But that's not to say I don't offer anything. No, I would love to.
We need that.
I would love to.
You also have another title too. You're a podcaster. So can we talk Twinhood? Season 2 just launched.
I did.
Love this show. Tell me what
come on.
Can I come on, please?
Yeah.
Tell me what you love about podcasting. What has this brought to your world?
Well, it's a relatively new skill for me. I've been in other people's podcasts, obviously.
But it's different when you're hosting your own show. It is
different.
Yes.
And ours is very, I will say, anyone who's not seen Twinhood, it's very casual. It's very funny. Again, I do write a lot of serious music. I love really poignant lyrical music, but I'm also like a giggle. And it's important, I think, for me to have an outlet for my giggle. And the outlet is Twinhood. And we are giggling every week. And it's me and my twin sister, Twinhood. And we live together, so we film it at home. And it really is, we're talking about everything and anything. She works in corporate. I'm a pop star of the world. Sort of got a vague Hannah Montana leaning to it. Sort of got a British love of Huns leaning to it. Like, it's a few different worlds meeting, but it's really fun. We love doing it.
It's so funny because I have sisters too, and it's a very special sister relationship where one minute you're talking about cutting your hair, the next it's how do we save money? It's the most real pipeline of conversations.
It's so sisterly. Literally the first episode we ever did, it opens with Ellen being like, Maisie, this must be crazy. You've never done a podcast before. I'm like, Ellen, I've done literally hundreds. What do you think I do? And that's how it opens. And then, yeah, exactly. It's cutting your hair. It's going to the gym in your worst outfit imaginable. It's really, it's all walks of life for sure.
How do we get Ellen on the tour bus? Because we need that vlogged, and I know that was a resolution.
Well, unfortunately for some, unfortunately for me, there is actually, so she has some work out here. So my American tour that's coming up, she's got some work out here in Chicago, which is a few days before I'm in Chicago. And I was like, well, you can't wait in Chicago, Ellen, like for 5 days. And she was like, what if I like flew to Toronto and then just got on the bus? And I thought, I've walked into this one. But no, it would be really funny. We've already talked about like her on the bus. Obviously, we do a podcast episode. We're going to do some VIP little performances, and she does events. So I'm like, well, you could just organize the VIP. But then
that's what we need,
we were like, she will just be like, guys, you don't talk to Maisie. She's boring. Who wants to talk about lip glosses? Who wants to show me their lip gloss? Which could be good. It's a different vibe.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd watch that. I love it.
Definitely.
You talk about your tour too. When you were dreaming up about that stage, what are you looking forward to being back on stage? What can you tell your fans about the show?
So these are the Before the Bloom dates, which we started at the end of last year. And the concept of the shows are that it's before the bloom, so it's before Florescence comes out and is in bloom. And we wanted to, I guess, live and touring has been so important to me across my career, across the years of which I've done it. And it's always been such a tenet of what I do. So I wanted to really see the fans and be with them as we get closer and closer to this album coming out and celebrate that together, and also celebrate what I've done to get here. This is my third album. I wanted to be able to play old songs and songs that were important to the making of Florescence, songs that subconsciously inspired it, songs that the fans love that would have brought them to me in the first place. So the tour is kind of unique, which is cool. I've never done anything like it. They're smaller venues, super intimate, and it's hilariously, I'm not calling it this, but it is a greatest hits of 3 albums and 7 years.
Oh wait, I love that.
Which is really funny. But yeah, it's old, it's new. There'll be songs from the new album. There'll be my first song I've ever released will probably be in there.
Wow.
It's all of my band and I. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm so glad.
What is the deep cut that still always hits, that you have fun playing, that the fans always ask for?
What a good question. So what is the deep cut that always hits? I think the real answer to this would be something like Villain from my first album. The fans still really love when I play that. And then my personal answer, which we've actually not done in a while, but there was a song on my first album called Psycho, which actually would have been what we were talking about when we did it.
I remember this one, yes.
It is quite a different sonic to what's going on now, but my band and I love Psycho Acoustic.
Oh my God.
And so if there was a world in which in the next year or so I can bring back Psycho Acoustic, Real Psycho is like a dance track. It's like 130 something BPM. It's kind of manic. But Psycho Acoustic is like real country folk take, and it's a really different vibe. And I remember when we did Psycho Acoustic, we were like, wow, there's a whole untapped resource here. So, and now Psycho Acoustic really fits with Florescence. So I think there could be a world where it returns.
Oh, I love this. Okay, and the very last question for you, Maisie. Florescence in 3 words, how would you describe it?
Best album ever. No, I'm joking.
Yep.
I would say hopeful. I would say evolved. And I would say, you know what, I'm going to pick a different word than I normally pick, which I think is appropriate. I'm going to say tender, like tender-hearted.
Oh, I love that. We are so excited for this. I cannot wait. And Maisie, I'm so proud of you. From the first album to the third, like, how crazy.
Just 2 she-yos on a set with a microphone.
Here we are. Maisie,
we're
love
like
you.
that Paul Rudd interview. Look at you.
Look at you. Guys, can we do it up one more time for Maisie Peters in our studio. Third studio album out May 15th. May 15th, Florescence. Make sure you stream it on iHeartRadio.
Definitely do that.
Subscribe, follow Maisie, listen
do that
to
too.
music, watch the music videos.
Yay,
we love you, Maisie.
I love Emily Cole.
Thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here, and don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. See you next time.